So good evening. I just wanted to address a few things that was on my mind. Lil Uzi Vert has been in the news over the past few months. For having a $24 million diamond in his implanted on his forehead, and I was waiting for a while for particularly black folks, but just anyone in general to call his bluff on that, but no one ever did. And the only reason I mention black folks is because usually my grandfather used to have a saying that common sense isn't too common. Well, that's true. Black people be like, hey, I recognize a fraud when I see one. Come on now. How could he have a $24 million diamond implanted on his forehead when he's not even worth that? When you don't even hardly ever hear him performing anywhere in concerts locally. He had a little performance here and there, but none of that happened. Instead, it was just, hey, we believe it. Anything that comes out of Lil Uzi's mouth, even though he's doing it to create this little cloud of following, they just sucked it all up. And so I just found it incredible that no one ever questioned the validity of him having a diamond of that value and him doing all of this crowd surfing with a diamond that's more valuable than his life would be put at worth, being worth. It's not logical, but it was all in the news. And the thing about it, Hollywood is just so full of lies. And yes, Lil Uzi, he is out of Hollywood. I mean, he does all the interviews and have all the connections and, works for them and so forth. So he is that. And they're just known for blatant lies, some more explosive than others. But, Lil Uzi out of Philly, he briefly was with the Migos, just, performing a few songs and so forth. And then he kind of just went more out on his own and did his own thing and all that. And that's cool. That's good. He's doing all that. But for people just to believe anything coming out of his mouth, and then him saying that this diamond was snatched from his forehead with no security around to protect this $24 million so-called investment. Even if he's saying that he paid on it, he financed it for a few years. At what he's making, $40,000 per concert, not doing a whole lot of concerts, there's no way in hell he would be able to afford that. But again, the media put stuff out there. He put stuff out there because he's with them, and people are soaking in. I'm just doing this video because it shows just how gullible people are. No one ever called him out on such a blatant lie about this pink diamond. So it's, with these few hits he's made, it's just not possible that he could afford. We're not talking about $100,000 diamond. We're not talking about even $1 million one. 24 million. This guy doesn't even have a mansion, a house to show. The homes that you found that he supposedly owns online, they just show a picture of his face and the house, but never him touring it. How you gonna have a $24 million diamond with no house? And his clothes always look like they're from Goodwill, never any expensive garb on. So you won't invest in clothing, but you'll invest in a diamond. That's 24 mil. Come on now. It's one of those things where according to the standards of having this exclusive diamond implanted on his forehead, what you see is not around him is not living up to that. What is he driving? He has a very strong following with his gothic type rap that they'll believe anything this man has to say, literally. So, like I said, he's doing this thing or whatever like that, but I'm just calling out a lie. That's just what this is all about. It had nothing to do with whether or not I particularly prefer his music, gothic rap or whatever the case may be. Uh, that's a matter of opinion, and it's irrelevant what someone's opinion is. But as far as just something like that, where he's claiming without any proof that he paid $24 million for this diamond, like his just somebody executing him, that diamond would be worth more than his life. Doesn't make any sense because it's not true. It's a lie. Uh, Nowhere can you find that his net worth is anywhere close to 24 million. Matter of fact, it's well below that. And he keeps a tight tab on his net worth because he knows he isn't worth much. I know he performs his concerts. I know he's worth more than your typical person out there, working a 9 to 5, but that's not what we're talking about. We're saying a $24 million pink diamond. So he's going to invest all this money into this small rock and implant it on his forehead. And you're going to believe that he would choose that over a house? For someone to invest 24 million into a diamond, they got to be worth at least a few hundred million. And even then, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't do anything that stupid. And he speaks relatively intelligently in his interviews, but we're supposed to think that he made this dumb move and lost his marbles and decided to invest that into a rock. Okay? So, he's had moderate success. Nothing explosive. He's charted a few times. Came out with a few hits and so forth, but nothing near the caliber that would be needed to afford something that expensive. You got a lot of folks out there worth hundreds of millions, and they wouldn't dare. They wouldn't even dare tell a lie like that. But see, Lil Uzi, he don't care. He will lie about the value of a diamond, about buying a planet. That's the latest one he came up with. First of all, how is he going to afford a planet when would it be man's to even buy if there were planets? And that's another thing. Excuse me. Lil Uzi knows full well that there are no planets, that there's no solar systems, all of this kind of stuff. It's all a lie and made up hype. So, of course, the masses will just eat it up and just agree with whatever he says. You're going to buy a planet. Who has this planet for sale? It's just one lie after another. And with the little mediocre shows he's done, if there was a planet for sale, how could he afford it? So let's get this right. People who have proven billionaires and the hidden ones are the trillionaires out there, they haven't bought any so-called planets. But Lil Uzi Vert has or is trying to. Tell you, man, this dude lies a lot, man. I know it's, chasing a little cloud, a little attention or whatever, but I mean, what's getting me is that people actually believe this foolishness. I'm just saying. Yeah. Everything about him, this dude just lies constantly. So he was crowd surfing and they snatched the rock from his forehead. Y'all supposed to believe that. So security just let him do that. He didn't think twice about having his head out there where he could get literally executed on the spot for this rock. Yeah, hey, I'm just calling a bluff. That's all that is. It's I don't care what Uzi or anyone else thinks. These are just facts here, that these are blatant lies being told. Okay. Now he's talking about buying a planet. Next he might be saying that he's selling a part of the universe, just whatever can come through his mind. But we live inside of a dome, okay? And if you want to call Earth that, you could call it a planet, but it's really not even a planet. It's flat inside of a dome. That's what Earth is. There are no planets out there, so therefore, Lil Uzi, even if he had the money, which he doesn't, even if he had it, he wouldn't be able to buy a planet because no planets exist. But This guy is constantly lying. I mean, to get a following. He will say the most blatant stuff and folks would just eat it up. It's a trip. I'm just looking forward to seeing what he got to say next. And he's looking at people. I feel like he's trying folks' intelligence. Just first, you say this diamond is worth 24 mil. You talking about buying planets, and he says it, and he's looking at folks believing this. So I feel like he's trying people intelligence to see just how incredibly stupid individuals are. But maybe some have caught it and just never spoken on it. But I was waiting around for a while and I couldn't get anyone to comment on this supposedly $24 million little Rubik's Cube stud on his forehead. He was right. People did eat it up. They ate that up. They believe that crap. Yeah. So, rappers nowadays, they don't make money so much off of downloads. They make a little off of that, but it's mainly off of concert performances. And, he's performed in a few, some big ones, some larger than others, but nothing even close to being able to have him afford a diamond of that caliber. And when he doesn't have a mansion to show off, so he'll invest that in a rock, but not in a place to live. Come on now. Wow. This whole social media thing, and just the world we live in, people will believe anything. So I guess now I should just walk around saying that I'm worth 120 trillion, right? I guess they'll believe it. Ask Lil Uzi. Hey, till next time.